Your EV showed 280 miles of range last week. This morning, it shows 240 miles. Same battery percentage. Nothing broke. Most EV owners panic and book service appointments. Here's what actually happened. Your range didn't disappear. The conditions around your battery changed. Today, I'm showing you exactly how to get that lost range back without replacing a single cell or spending $1 at the service center. You didn't lose permanent range. This is the most important thing to understand right from the start. When your range estimate drops, your first instinct is to think your battery degraded. You assume those miles are gone forever, that you permanently lost capacity. In almost every case, you're wrong. Real battery degradation is slow and gradual. Studies show EV batteries degrade at about 1.8% of maximum capacity per year. That's barely noticeable year to year. If your battery suddenly dropped 15% capacity overnight, something catastrophic would need to have happened to the cells. What actually happens is temporary efficiency loss. Your battery still holds the same amount of energy, it just can't deliver that energy as efficiently under current conditions. The moment those conditions change, your range comes back. Think about your phone battery in winter. It dies faster in the cold, then works normally again once you bring it inside. Same battery, same capacity, different operating conditions. This distinction matters because it changes how you approach the problem. You're not fixing battery damage. You're restoring the conditions that let your battery perform at its best. Most range loss you experience day to day is completely reversible. Understanding this eliminates 90% of EV owner anxiety. Cold weather is the biggest temporary range killer. Nothing destroys the displayed range faster than temperature drops. Research from Recurrent Auto shows EVs can lose up to 30% of their battery range in cold weather. Consumer Reports found that short trips with frequent stops in winter can drain up to 50% of range compared to ideal conditions. A Model Y owner showing 310 miles in September might show 200 miles in January. Same battery health, same charge percentage, completely different range estimate. This isn't battery failure, it's chemistry. Lithium-ion batteries rely on chemical reactions to store and release energy. Cold temperatures slow these reactions significantly. Below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, efficiency starts dropping. Below freezing, the impact becomes dramatic. The battery management system also uses extra power to warm the battery before charging or during heavy use. That warming energy comes from your available range, not from the wall. But here's the critical part. This is temporary. When spring arrives and temperatures rise, that lost range returns completely. A battery showing 200 miles in February will show 310 miles again in May. You didn't fix anything. The weather just stopped working against you. One Tesla owner tracked this precisely over 4 years. Every winter, his range dropped 25 to 30%. Every spring, it climbed back to baseline. His battery health stayed consistent the entire time at 94%. The difference between winter range and real degradation is simple. Winter range loss is immediate and dramatic when cold hits. Real degradation is gradual, usually 1 to 2% annually over years. Understanding this one fact eliminates most first winter EV panic. Driving style can hide your real range. Your EV's range estimate isn't based on your battery's actual capacity alone. It's based on how efficiently you've been driving recently. Aggressive acceleration, high speeds, and late braking all increase energy consumption dramatically. When your driving becomes less efficient, your car assumes you'll continue driving that way and adjusts your range estimate down. This catches new owners off guard constantly. You drive aggressively for a week, enjoying your EV's instant torque at every stoplight, your average consumption climbs from 250 watts per mile to 320 watts per mile. Suddenly, your displayed range drops 20%. Nothing changed with your battery. Your car is just calculating range based on your recent habits. Aerodynamic drag scales with the square of speed. Going from 65 miles per hour to 80 miles per hour doesn't hurt efficiency a little, it destroys it. On a Model 3 long range, dropping from 80 to 65 on highway drives gives you 20 to 30% more range. That's 50 to 80 extra miles just from driving slightly slower. One Model Y owner tracked this meticulously. During his first 6 months, he drove aggressively and averaged 290 watts per mile. After learning about efficiency, he modified his habits. Same routes, same commute, just gentler acceleration and smoother overall driving. His consumption dropped to 230 watts per mile. That's 26% more efficiency from driving style alone. More importantly, his displayed range climbed back up even though his battery health stayed exactly the same. If you want your range estimate back, calm your driving for several days. Let the car recalculate based on efficient habits. Watch your watts per mile average drop and your range estimate climb back up. Your battery didn't change, your efficiency did. Tire pressure affects range more than you think. Cold weather doesn't just hurt battery efficiency, it also reduces tire pressure. For every 10 degrees Fahrenheit temperature drop, tire pressure decreases by about 1 psi. That might not sound significant, but the impact on range is immediate and measurable. Low tire pressure increases rolling resistance. Your motor has to work harder to maintain the same speed. That extra work drains faster and cuts your efficiency. Studies show underinflated tires can reduce EV range by 5 to 10% easily. On a 300-mile range vehicle, that's 15 to 30 miles lost just from tire pressure being 5 psi low. Most drivers never check their tire pressure until the warning light comes on. By then, you've been bleeding range for weeks. Simply correcting tire pressure to manufacturer specifications can restore lost miles instantly. No battery changes, no software updates, just air. Check your tire pressure monthly, especially when temperatures change. Your door gem shows the recommended PSI. Match it. This is one of the fastest range recovery methods available, and most owners completely overlook it. HVAC usage changes your efficiency baseline. Heating and cooling your cabin uses efficient battery power. In some conditions, climate control draws more energy than driving. Car and Driver tested this properly. Model 3 long range at 70 miles per hour in 38-degree Fahrenheit weather, with HVAC completely off, they got 234 miles. Climate set to 72 degrees Fahrenheit on auto dropped it to 200 miles. That's 34 miles gone just from running heat like a normal person. Crank it to max with all features on high and they got 173 miles. A 61-mile penalty. Your range estimate adapts to this usage. If you've been blasting the heat or AC for weeks, your car assumes you'll keep it on and adjust your displayed range accordingly. The solution isn't freezing or sweating. It's using energy more strategically. Seat heaters and steering wheel heaters use a fraction of the power because they warm you directly instead of heating the entire cabin. Tesla's own cold weather guide recommends using these first and keeping cabin temperature as low as comfortable. Preconditioning while plugged in is even better. Heat your cabin before you leave using wall power instead of battery power. Your range estimate stays higher because you're not starting every trip by dumping energy into HVAC. On short commutes, the difference is massive. You stay just as comfortable, but your displayed range looks completely different. If you've lost range recently and you've been running climate control heavily, moderate your usage for a few days. Watch your range estimate climb back as your efficiency average improves. Battery temperature matters for efficiency. Battery temperature affects more than just cold weather range. It impacts charging speed, power output, and overall efficiency constantly. If your battery runs constantly cold or extremely hot, everything suffers. Charging becomes less efficient, power output gets reduced, energy consumption rises across the board. The battery management system works hard to maintain optimal temperature, but it can't overcome extreme conditions instantly. A cold battery needs time to warm up before it performs normally. A hot battery needs time to cool down. This is why Tesla's scheduled departure features matters so much. It warms the battery before you leave while you're still plugged in. If you start your drive with an optimized battery temperature instead of forcing the system to heat it while driving, testing from AutoTrader measured 21% less energy consumption on preconditioned drives versus cold starts. On a 300-mile pack, that's roughly 60 miles of range from scheduling your departure time correctly. Hot weather creates similar issues. If you fast charge immediately after hard driving, your battery is already hot. Adding more heat from rapid charging stresses the system and reduces efficiency. Allowing your battery to operate in normal temperature ranges improves performance and restores range naturally. If you want to see this helpful content every week, hit that subscribe button. The range display learns from you. Your EV's range estimate isn't fixed. It's adaptive and constantly recalculating based on your recent behavior. The system tracks your driving patterns, climate usage, speed habits, and efficiency over your last several hundred miles. It uses that data to predict how far you can drive on your current charge. This means your displayed range is personalized to you. If you've been driving efficiently for months, your range estimate will be optimistic. If you've been driving aggressively, using heavy climate control, and traveling at high speeds, your estimate drops to reflect that reality. The important part? This adapts over time. Change your habits for a week, and your displayed range often increases again. The car notices you've improved efficiency and adjusts its predictions accordingly. This explains why two identical cars with the same charge percentage can show vastly different range numbers. One owner drives smoothly and the other drives aggressively. The battery capacity is identical. The driving efficiency isn't. Understanding this removes the mystery from range fluctuations. Your car isn't broken when range drops. It's being honest about what you actually get based on how you've been using it. Want your range back? Show the car better efficiency for several days. It will notice and adjust. When range loss is actually real. I need to be honest here for a second because credibility matters. Not all range loss is temporary. Real battery degradation happens. It's normal, expected, and unavoidable over time. EV batteries typically degrade about 2.3% of maximum capacity per year on average. After 10 years, you might retain 85 to 90% of original capacity. That's permanent and that's real. But here's the distinction. Permanent degradation happens slowly. You don't lose 10% capacity overnight. You lose 2% the first year, maybe 1% the second year, then 0.5% the third year. It's gradual and predictable. Sudden large drops are almost always situational, not permanent. If your range suddenly dropped 15% in 2 weeks, that's not degradation. That's conditions changing. Temperature shifted, driving became more aggressive, tire pressure dropped, climate usage increased. Real degradation shows up in your battery health percentage. Most EVs now display in settings. If that number drops significantly, then you're experiencing actual capacity loss. But if your battery health shows 95% and your range estimate dropped from 280 to 240 miles, you're looking at efficiency loss, not degradation. Understanding this difference prevents unnecessary panic and helps you focus on what actually matters. The truth, most range loss is temporary. You don't add range back by fixing the battery. You get range back by fixing the conditions around it. Cold weather is temporary. Driving habits can change. Tire pressure takes 5 minutes to correct. HVAC usage is completely controllable. Battery temperature normalizes with proper preconditioning. All these factors affect your displayed range dramatically, and all of them are reversible. The range drops that stress owners out every single day are almost always temporary. Efficiency losses that reverse when conditions improve. The next time your range estimate drops suddenly, don't panic. Don't assume your battery is dying. Check the temperature outside. Review your recent driving habits. Measure your tire pressure. Look at your climate control usage. Consider your battery temperature. One or more of these factors changed, and your car is simply being honest about current performance. Fix the conditions, and your range comes back naturally. Share in the comments which of these surprised you most, and subscribe for more practical EV advice. Your EV battery is probably fine. Now you know exactly what's actually affecting your range and how to get it back.